Jonathan Head is the BBC's correspondent at the caves. Just before we came on air, he told me the decision about whether to wait out the rains or try to move before them does now appear to be swinging towards imminent action.
I don't think they can decide, at least they're not telling us they have, because the options are so difficult. None of them is ideal. We don't know how the discussions among themselves and the Thai authorities are going. I would say that they're moving more towards the idea of getting them out quickly. It was interesting at today's briefing, they simply assured everyone they were not going to try to get them out today. But nobody's talking about just leaving them there now. Now, that may change again. The reality is the rainy season has just started. When it really gets going, I don't think anybody knows quite how flooded these caves are, but it could make it almost impossible to stay down there. And they've been asking for these full-face masks, which are easier for beginner divers to wear. I mean, these kids, they're right up in the north of Thailand, a long way from the sea. They've not only never done diving or had any kind of diving training, some of them can't even swim. So there's a very big worry about trying to bring them back through this very difficult route that it took experienced divers days to make their way through. Particularly the narrow tunnels, would they panic? It could be very dangerous for everybody, including the divers who would accompany them. But they're strong lads. We've seen a video of them today that the Thai Navy has posted, the ones who've been staying with them. They're all smiling and greeting the camera and telling the camera that they're in good health, or at least 11 of them say that. People feel that they're, at least certainly the medics say, there's a good chance they'll recover their strength fairly quickly. They may have some very tough decisions. We're getting heavier rain where we're expecting it today. It's very sunny at the moment, so that can change very fast at this time of year. They may just decide we've got to do this. They've clearly got to give the boys some kind of training in very difficult conditions where they are. They've not yet managed to get a phone line through to them, which they wanted to do because that would boost their morale. I doubt they've got power through yet, and the relaying of Thai Navy divers, even through to stay with them with supplies, it's a difficult route. So, these are tough options, and we don't know yet which one I suspect they're looking at both of them. If they can't get them through, they're certainly taking a great many supplies down there with the thought they may have to look after them for quite a long time.
Gosh, it's a terrible dilemma, isn't it? And the real unknown here is that space they are in where they are able to remain alive. Does that get flooded at the height of the rainy season? And no one knows the answer to that question.
Well, one of the interesting aspects is that this area known as Pattaya Beach, which is the area the divers were heading for, was thought to be dry. And in fact, when they got to it, it was flooded. And they found the boys about 300 meters further on, and on quite a small, higher shelf. So clearly, there isn't much very clear, there isn't very comprehensive knowledge of where the flooding goes. I think it is unpredictable. They have found another cavern they hope might be linked to the cave the boys are in, where they're actually talking about seeing if they can drain water that way. There's all sorts of discussions and thought going on about hydroengineering. They are blocking streams that they believe go into the caves as much as possible. But of course, on mountains like these, water's absorbed in all sorts of ways. They're constantly pumping water out. At this stage, it is try every option, explore every option. It seems resources, and there's no limit to the resources they'll put into it.
The BBC's Jonathan Head.